By January, only a short month or so later, Teachers College Press signed on and we were moving. Today I'm pleased to welcome many of our authors to discuss these critical issues. Dan Domenech, Ben Levin, Peter Smith, and I are the authors for the book. We're also very pleased to have Mark Tucker of the National Center for Education and Economy. I've admired Mark's work for years. It's fabulous, and he just showed me a very new PowerPoint-like thing that's even cooler than some of that stuff. So it's a learning experience for me too. Also in attendance today, and that I think is worth mentioning, I'd like to, many of my board members, but not necessarily in that order, but Betsy Brand of the American Policy Forum. I've known Betsy for a long time. I'm very pleased to be here. I don't mean long in a bad way. Time stands still for you. Okay. George Washington University, where I was proud to do my doctorate under this guy right here, Peter Smith, but their new dean, Michael Feuer, is he's going to be here in a little while. He's going to lead one of the sessions as well. And Carrie Besnat-Hauser of the Kauffman Foundation in Kansas City is also going to help all of us. Also pleased, right in front of me is Steve Trachtenberg. And Steve is a former president of the George Washington University. He and Virginia Edwards, who's at the back, and she's the editor of EdWeek, and it's a pleasure to see you today. They're going to give some critical discussion on what we discussed today. So that should be interesting as well. Just a couple other things. Just Jay Goff, where's Jay? Jay is from St. Louis University in St. Louis, Missouri, and he's the Vice President for Enrollment Management and Retention. There he's on our Board of Directors. And Pranav Kothari, who's going to be coming up here in just a moment to do another introduction. He's with Mission Measurement in Chicago, also one of our board members. Of the EPI staff, Kimberly Lambs, say hi. You know Kimberly? She's our Vice President for Strategic Initiatives. And as well, we have, and somewhere on the other side of the door, and somewhere on this side of the door, our staff, Kate Quinn, Andrea Kalbasmaki, and Mia Leland. And we want to thank them for their help. Now, before we get to the Congressman, I'd like to also acknowledge that it's our 10th anniversary this year. 10 years is a long time. And we're pleased that we made it. When we started EPI in 2002, we really didn't know what would happen. You couldn't have guessed what we've done and what we perhaps haven't done. But it was another sort of those moments where it seemed to be the right thing to do. What do we have now? 92 publications, dozens of research projects, and conferences and workshops that we host throughout the year. Tomorrow, I'm actually meeting with the board of directors, and we're going to decide what the next decade is going to look like. I know we're not going to focus on the decade, but that's kind of where we are. It's a good chance to take a look back and say, where are we? So this is an exciting time for us. So with that, that gives a little background of how we got here, not only as an organization, but the book and what it means. What I'm hoping for the rest of this afternoon is that we have a very combined dialogue, participatory, if I could have put, about what some of these issues are. I don't want to get too much into the discussion of how so many million of our students still are on the bottom rungs of society's ladder, and that education is the pathway. But that kind of puts it in perspective pretty quickly. And the question is, what do we do differently that we have been unable to achieve? Or, well, where have we been successful? So I look forward to that dialogue, and I welcome you all here, and thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. Now, with that, I'll ask Pranav to come up. Thank you.
On behalf of the board of directors,
thank you.
We're all pleased to be involved and engaged with this group. My name is Pranav Kothari. I'm managing director of a firm called Mission Measurement in Chicago. And I've been connected with Scott now for 15 plus years, I think.
I apologize.
Yeah, it's been good. I was telling, I think, Peter at our table, I started in this business of college access and success and financing basically as I right when I left college. And at that time, Scott and Claire Gladio were the authors of the College Board Trends Report. And so when I started my career, this is the document that I referred to. So these guys in my head were essentially celebrities. I wasn't a big pop culture or music guy, so like these guys were celebrities. So I had a chance to finally meet them at a conference. And it was just remarkable, and the work that the organization's done over the years, the past 10 years, have been tremendous, and Scott's contributions to the field have been amazing. But I'm here actually for a different purpose, and it's to share with you to announce the 2012 Leadership in Education Award. Each year, the Educational Policy Institute presents an annual Leadership in Education Award to elected members of Congress or other government entities who have helped expand educational opportunities for students across the U.S. And throughout the world. This year, we are pleased to provide the 2012 Leadership and Excellence Award to Congressman Chaka Fattah. Congressman Fattah has been a staunch advocate of educational issues for several decades in Congress and previously as a state representative and senator in his home state and my home state, Pennsylvania. He serves as a senior member of the House Appropriations Committee, which is responsible for setting spending priorities for over $1 trillion in annual discretionary funds. He also serves as the ranking member of the subcommittee of Commerce, Justice, Science, and Related Agencies, which oversees close to $51 billion in discretionary spending, including Commerce and Justice Departments, NASA, NOAA, and the National Science Foundation. Congressman Fattah chairs the Congressional Urban Caucus, a bipartisan group of 47 members representing America's metropolitan centers, who work collaboratively with other stakeholders to address unique challenges facing America's urban centers. Congressman Fattah is the architect of the nation's largest and most successful college readiness and access program, our affectionately program known as Gear Up. Over the past 12 years, Gear Up has received more than $4 billion in federal funds and currently serves some 12 million students from 6th to 12th grade in 49 states, Puerto Rico, and District of Columbia, including U.S. territories. Gear Up serves as an international model to aid underserved students in their preparation and pursuit of a college education. And Congressman Fattah doesn't know this, but he's essentially been guiding my career for the last 15 years because I've been so involved in college access and success and financing initiatives. So when I was a couple years out of undergrad, I was running around the state of Ohio trying to get Gear Up, trying to figure out our Gear Up plan in the Ohio region. So all this while, you've been this shining light of my career, unbeknownst to me as well. For his dedication to the expansion of educational opportunity, the Educational Policy Institute is pleased to bestow the 2012 EPI Leadership and Education Award to Congressman Chaka Fattah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The good news is that I am not the afternoon speaker. So I do know that that is going to take place at 1:30, so you're a few minutes behind. But let me say briefly, let me thank EPI for bestowing this award. It is true that we were here 15 years ago. What's fascinating is that Peter Smith and I were discussing Claiborne Pell, Senator Pell, and how important his work was in terms of inspiring my work in the Congress. So for Scott to reference that, it just shows that great minds think alike, because it was right here where we celebrated 25 years of the Pell Grant some 15 years ago. I am happy to accept this award. I accept it really on behalf of my staff. They do all the hard work. I give speeches, and I go somewhere else to give another speech, and I go somewhere else to give another speech. But through the American Opportunities Tax Credit, through our work on the Fiscal Fairness Act, and you know, singularly, I think I get noted for our work for just Gear Up. Now Cheryl, who handled appropriations for Gear Up, deserves most of the credit for moving this program along. We had an administration that I don't know what was up with Bush, but he kept zeroing it out, and we kept putting the money back in and fighting for it. And I've traveled to almost a third of our states now, visiting with Gear Up, our students all across the country. It is just extraordinary to see these gifted young people doing what it is that we want them to do. So I want to just say something fairly simple that, if you don't remember anything else that I've said, should focus this issue for all of us for the rest of the time that we have a chance to make a contribution. It's really in the arithmetic. I noticed that Bill Clinton got people to pay attention when he talked about basic math. If we're going to compete with countries with billion-plus populations, China and India, and we're a country of just 300 million, it is no longer possible for us to believe that we're going to retain our global leadership at the same time that we have disproportionate failure among tens of millions of our young people as part of a